So welcome back to the workshop, and if you're one of my regular visitors, you might remember this. So what's it like to play then? Well, from a purely ergonomic point of view, I think it's great. I mean, it just really sits there on me very, very comfortably. I'm not overstretching or anything like that. And to be honest, if I was going to make myself a bass guitar, I would look very carefully at the dimensions of this, the relationship to sort of the end of the fretboard and where that waist is, because I think that's crucial for the whole thing being comfortable. So as you may have gathered, I was quite taken by that little K bass, and I thought to myself, what if I tried to take that further? Maybe enhance the design in some way, use some really beautiful wood, use much better quality hardware, and dare I say, make it to a higher standard using my hard-won luthier skills. What would happen? What would the outcome be? So yeah, that's where this new journey kind of starts. So whilst I was rebuilding the KEB100, I obviously took the opportunity to draw around the body, and looking at the shape, although I like the kind of the overall dimensions and feel of it, I thought it could do with kind of being a little bit crisper, particularly around this sort of end scallop here, around this area here. And I thought this kind of part here, this horn, could do with making it maybe a little bit longer, a little bit sharper. So let me show you what I came up with. So this is my kind of enhanced shape. As you can see, it's a bit crisper in these areas here. I've exaggerated that curve a little bit more and extended that horn, and I think that really enhances the whole shape, so I'm pleased with that. Before I go on with the rest of the design though, I need to sort out the bridge. I think the bridge is going to dictate an awful lot of what's going to go on elsewhere. So one thing that I want to get sorted out before I get too involved with the overall design of the bass is the bridge. The body of the bass is going to be quite small, quite compact, and therefore the bridge itself is going to be quite compact. So I wanted something simple and compact. And that kind of leads me to think I want a Fender style bridge, traditional Fender style bridge for want of a better term. Now, instinct also tells me that I want the body, the strings to run through the body so that the strings are pushing directly down onto the saddle and all that energy is being transferred into the body. I think that will help the overall resonance of the instrument, and I guess that's a lesson learned from my mandolin building. But just to compound things further, the difficulty of finding the bridge that I want is that I want 17mm string spacing. I want a comparatively narrow string spacing to give it that more of a vintage feel. So there are plenty of bridges out there, 19mm string spacing, Fender style, through the body, etc. But I can't find one with 17mm spacing. There may well be one out there, but I can't find it. So what am I going to do? Well, I shall show you. So what I found is this 5-string bass bridge, and being 5 strings, it's got 17mm string spacing. Now I've had a go at making these kind of barrel-like saddles myself already, and to be honest, it wasn't really very successful. I just simply haven't got the machinery that I need to be able to make these. Now I really enjoy making my own hardware, but I'm really only going to make it if I think it's going to be superior to what's commercially available. So what I've decided to do then is to use these saddles on a bridge that I'm going to make using this extruded brass angle. So the idea then is to cut this down and mount these saddles onto this base plate, and hopefully that will give me a bridge to the specification that I want. So yeah, let's see how we get on, shall we? Right, so there we have the base plate of the bridge. It's had a bit of a clean up. Obviously it will have its final clean up when the instrument is finished. So yeah, I'm going to fit the saddles in a moment and see what they look like. It's just interesting though, you talk about the resonance of wood, tone woods. Never think about the resonance of metal really. That's quite wonderful, isn't it? So yeah, let's get on with it. So I think I've gone about as far as I can at this stage with the bridge, and here we have it. So you can see the lovely heavy-duty brass base plate, the black saddles, and I've swapped the screws out, the original black screws, for these stainless steel ones with button heads, which means I can then adjust them with an Allen key, and I think that's preferable to a screwdriver as you're less prone to slip and scratch the surface of the body. And also between the head of the screw and this back plate I put some little nylon washers, and that will reduce friction when you're adjusting it. The screws themselves obviously oversized at the moment, so I'll trim those down later on once I'm sure of the exact position of the saddle, you know, with the intonation, etc. And I'm not 100% sure. I may also replace the springs with some kind of higher tension ones. But yeah, that's quite enough at this stage to allow me to progress with the design of the rest of the instrument. So having made the bridge, it allows me to determine the position that I want it. Obviously, being a very small body like this, the bridge is going to be sitting very close to this back edge, and I'm very aware that not only have I got the fixing screws, I've also got to bore holes right the way through the body to anchor the strings from the other side. So there's obviously a minimum distance here that I'm comfortable with, which is about that. Yeah, so the bridge is going to sit here, and knowing what the compensation is for intonation, etc., then allows me to work out really the position of the neck. This is going to be the 16th fret, 15th fret, and the body join here, and there's the 12th fret. So as I say, I now know exactly where the neck is going to sit in relationship to the body. Also, having made the bridge, I know the kind of minimum and maximum height of the saddles, and that's going to allow me to work out how I want to position the neck. Do I want to raise the whole thing up, or do I want to keep it fairly low and maybe tilt it back? So all of those questions can be answered now the bridge is made. So this green line is a kind of a datum line that I'm working from. That represents the top surface of the body. So we've got the bridge here, and I've marked on it here in this kind of pinky colour about the average height of where the string should be breaking over the saddle. And it turns out that really all I have to do is bring up the neck about 3 millimeters higher than the body. So i.e. the neck should sit parallel to the body, but 3 millimeters up from that green line. And then I've marked another line here, I don't know if you can see it, 7 millimeters from that. And that line represents the top surface of the frets. And if I put my meter rule along there, from where the nut is to where that mark for the brake is, that gives me a gap of about 2 millimeters at the 12th fret, which is the ideal action really for a bass guitar. So yeah, having sorted that out now, I'm pretty confident that I can progress with the woodwork. I suppose what I should add is one of the reasons I'm being so pedantic about this at this stage is that I'm going to do a set neck. So, you know, if I get it wrong, I can't shim the neck or anything like that, or take a bit off the bottom of the heel. Once it's glued in, it's glued in. So I think I've got all the key elements of the bass guitar's design pretty much sorted out. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you found it of interest, and in the next episode we should start cutting up some wood. So see you soon. Cheers.